Have I tested this display at all? Of course I haven't. Of course I haven't. Did I set it up to see if I actually like it? Of course I haven't. So that's annoying me, but whatever, we're here now. And I definitely could have done something about these wrinkles, but you know, that's how it goes when you are ill prepared. Good morning, she said at a solid 4:45 on a Tuesday afternoon. Today was mostly big girl corporate job stuff, so that's what we were doing for most of today. However, in true last minute fashion, I agreed to be a part of the Feminist First Friday pop up event that is in 3 whole days. So, what we need to get started on this afternoon is going through my pop up inventory bin and seeing how much remaining inventory I have from one of my last pop ups, which at this point was sometime in December. We need to go through that, update my spreadsheet to reflect what I currently have on hand so I know what all still needs to be made and get ready for this pop up that's in, I don't know, 60 hours. I did already do my sticker counting. I did that late last night while I was catching up on some YouTube. So I do already know how many stickers I need to make, which thankfully is not as much as I thought it was going to be. However, I have a feeling that I do not have any notepads. I know I don't have any magnetic bookmarks. I have very few acrylic cups, which tend to be what do well. And I don't know if I have many tote bags, which also tend to do well at pop up events. But we're going to go through this bin that has not been opened in probably a month now and see what we're working with. So we can go ahead and get this evening started and get the prep going for my first pop up market of 2025. So I must have been completely over whatever my last market was, which I believe was one of the holiday markets that I did downtown Raleigh. Anyway, I must have been completely done with the holiday season because do you see how I threw stuff into I threw stuff in my bin? I didn't even take them off of the grid wall hangers. They are still very much so still on the hangers, and I never went back to them. So I guess let's do that. Let's take them off the actual hangers so we can see how many pen back buttons we have. Um, yeah, I guess let's start there. At least getting some sort of semblance of organization going before I can even start the actual inventory count. Good morning, folks, and welcome to Market Day. Some of you may be a little bit confused because the last time I saw y'all, we were doing a little bit of inventory prep about 3 days ago. I completely understand. I would be confused as well. But shortly after that clip, I completely forgot about picking up this camera because I was in the thick of making sure that I made all of the product that I wanted to bring with me. I also did a lot of last minute display stand changes the way that I do for almost every single market. And I just did not take you along to see any of that. My bad. A girl is trying. I promise we will get better at this. But here we are, the morning of the market, and there are still quite a few things that I need to get done because who would I be if I wasn't working up until the 11th hour? We are sitting in the midst of our inventory preparation. Everything is pretty much packaged up and ready to go. I just need to get it into its bin, and there are quite a few things downstairs that are just strewn all over the place that I need to get packaged up as well as it pertains to my booth and my stands and all of that. So that's what we're doing this morning. We have our coffee that I probably don't really need because I'm already feeling pretty wired, but whatever. I guess we'll just be on Energizer Bunny mode all day. This is a night market. It is with the Downtown Alliance of Raleigh, which is where I live here in North Carolina. It's a pretty large group. I have done quite a few events with them, and I love the fact that they reach out to me to participate. It is called the Feminist First Friday event, celebrating women's history, and it's like a block party that they do every month. I do believe every first Friday for about 6 to 7 months out of the year. It is a free event. So even better. So anything that I do today ends up pretty much being profit. So you can't go wrong with that. And I've always had pretty good success with the events that I do through them. Again, it's a night event, so I have my lights and everything charging. Unfortunately, even though the last 2 days ended up being a pretty warm day in North Carolina, at one point getting up to 72 degrees, today is only a high of 60, with tonight being a high, I think, of like 42, 43, something like that, which for us North Carolinians, especially where I am, is a little chilly. I'm hoping though that people are still really going to come out, especially since it's still going to be a pretty nice day. It's just, going to be a little colder than what I would have liked. The wind is supposed to be pretty low, so that's the best part of it. I don't have to battle the cold and the wind. So I'm hoping I'm hoping that this will be a pretty good day. My goal for today, I think, is going to be $300. That sounds for some it might sound kind of high. I know for me that seems high, and for some of y'all it might seem a little low. But I am not taking anything really large with me this go around. I really focus on some of my smaller items, stickers, pin back buttons, magnet sets that always sell really well, but the price point isn't very significant. I don't have any apparel really. All of the apparel that I currently have, it's like holiday themed stuff, specifically like Christmas. I think I might bring it along with me, maybe depending on what kind of room I still have in the car, and maybe sell those at half price. But I really just didn't get the time to really dive into making new apparel for this particular market. I have some ideas that I'm going to work on next week, but I don't really have any significant apparel items for this market. So that's why we're sticking with our goal of 300 and hoping to meet and absolutely exceed that if possible. Now that I have jabbered on about nothing for the last, I don't know, 3 hours, let's really get into our day. It is currently 9:30 in the morning. I want to leave here about 1 o'clock. They are maybe 1:30, something like that. The market is from 6 to 9:30 or something like that. I gotta look it up. But they are opening up the space for you to set up. You have to be fully set up by 4:30, and they're opening up at 2. And I am one of those people who likes to get there as early as possible so that I do not have to rush. And even if that means me sitting there doing nothing for an hour, I have no problem with that. So I want to leave my home about 1 so that I can be there at 2 and be fully set up by the time the first people start rolling in at 5:30. So let's get going so we can get out of here in a timely fashion. Quite a bit of the inventory. It doesn't look like much. But my products are just pretty small. We have some magnet sets and a few pin back buttons and all of my stickers. I think in those bins right there, it's about 500 stickers. We also have the few notepads that I'm bringing and some totes. I'll get you some better footage of this once we get set up at the venue. And then all of the cups that I'm bringing as well. So that's a little bit of what we're bringing and what I need to get packaged up into this bin right here. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. I am really trying not to have a ton of totes that I have to take around everywhere, um, especially while I'm still, especially while my items are still small. If I could get everything compact into one tote, it'd be great. Today, I'm going to be setting up by myself and doing the majority of the event by myself. My guy's going to come and help me tear down. So I definitely want to make sure that I don't have a million different things that I have to lug around with me. So inventory is packed up, ready to go. Let's move on to getting all the other things together. So I am sure this lighting is terrible, but I wanted to show y'all this real quick before I threw it in the car. So one of the very last things that I did to prepare for this market, and I mean last minute, we're talking about I was down here at 11 o'clock last night putting this together. I changed my sticker display for the, I don't know, 37th time. I just have a hard time committing to displays. They always seem good when I'm here at the house and preparing them, and then I get them out into the real world, and I hate them. I hate it. Everybody has such pretty booth displays, and I've truly never been happy with any of the booth displays that I have. I know one of those things is because everybody, lots of people are using like ledge items, and I am not paying that amount of money for some displays. I'm just not going to do it. What I need to do is finally just sit down and find the time to make my own very nicely done and polished wood displays, but that's neither here nor there. Queen procrastination here, so we'll get to it when we get to it. But what I did do was come across some things on Pinterest that very late in the day that I threw together, and I think I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna like it. Number one, it lightens up the booth. Y'all can tell by my studio and by prior booth's design that I am a dark and moody girl. I like dark wood. I like dark stain. I like the color black. But for booth purposes, I know I needed to lighten it up. And my displays before were all black and dark stain. So here we are in my attempt to lighten up my booth. So let's get into what I prepared. I've done this type of sticker display before, and I really like how it works. It's these adhesive index card holders that you can stick to anything, and they're actually very easy to reposition without causing any kind of damage, depending on what you put it on. And before, I was using what was it? A chalkboard, a dark stain and black chalkboard. That, again, in an attempt to lighten it up, I wanted something different. And then these from Michael went on sale. These are the large flat surface easel. And as you can tell, lay flat or do a number of angled tilts. And in the back, there's plenty of surface back here for me to weigh it down so it can combat some of the windier things. I currently left it in its natural state just to see how I like it, but I can already tell that more than likely I am going to paint it white. Just ran out of time, so right now it's in its natural state. And with these 3x5 index cards, currently these are 20, 25 on this. And I have two. twins. So I have two of them, which is what I was doing anyway when they were the chalkboard, when I was using those dark chalkboards. So between the two of them, I have 50 slots for stickers. And I'm just realizing that, I'm just realizing that that one, that's why you don't do things so late at night. That one, the cards are placed a little wonky. Bit of a tilt on that one. It's fine. We'll worry about that later. It is pretty light for me, and so easy to transport. One thing that I did think about was maybe once I painted and stuff, adding a latch. So when I am transporting a latch and maybe a handle, so it's even easier to transport. But that'll be something we think about later on. Another thing I did also very last minute. This is a bulletin board display, two of them actually, of the same kind, front and back. And I added a hinge to it and some fabric stoppers that I literally just put in with push pins, just very simple. In the future, I might do something a little bit more permanent, maybe some lid stopping hinges. But right now, that's how this looks. A nice little A-frame bulletin board for push pins. And for this, I'm thinking that this is going to be a cute way to hang up keychains that I've made. So it's a little different way of doing it. Very cute. Again, light, so lightens up the booth. Really like that. Excuse me being weird, but this has smelled heavily of paint since I bought it yesterday. And that's weird. Like a very, very heavy smell of paint. Strange. It's fine. Maybe with it being outside all evening, that smell will go away. Even better thing about this is these are, I think these are 17 by 23. I'll link everything below from Target. And because Target had its description wrong, it had terrible reviews. Apparently, the description at one point said it was a magnetic board, which it 100% is not. So they are on a crazy good sale. I think I got these for $10 each for each board. Crazy good sale. So that's that. And for these large easels, I had Michael's Cash or whatever it is they call it. I had Michael's Cash and these were on sale. And I got both of these. How big are these? 30 by 20. I got two of the 30 by 20s, both of them for a total under 40 bucks. $40 for both of them. So if you're able to finagle that, please do. They are absolutely on sale. I think they're on sale for $25 a piece, and they're normally about 40. And then they have a smaller one that is on sale for like $14. And I'm thinking about going and getting that one as well, but I'm going to do it after this pop-up to see what kind of table space I have left. Anyway, so that's that. That is some late night things I did. Have I have I tested this display at all? Of course I haven't. Of course I haven't. Did I set it up to see if I actually like it? Of course I haven't. And that is the issue I keep running into. I keep doing these things last minute and not actually doing a trial run. I always treat the actual market as the trial run with these displays. And that's just what we're going to do today. I do think that this will work for me. I've said that with plenty other uh I've said that with plenty other booth designs, but I do think that if nothing else, lightening up that dark stain and using black for everything is that will work a little bit better. I do wish I had time to paint this white, but it's okay. We'll do that. We'll do that for the next ones. I have already been accepted to 4 more pop-ups between now and the end of summer. So we'll get this together. Anyway, let's stop yapping. Let's keep moving.
to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before I knew. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed. When we play our roles and ignore the problems. I like to be away in my patience. Stay up, I feel so outdated. How can we look the other way? Sun is out, but the sky is gray. What would happen if I took a chance? It's always hard at first glance. I don't wanna, but I know I gotta do it. The truth is hard to swallow, I think I'll chew it. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed. When we play our roles and ignore the problems. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed. When we play our roles and ignore the problems. I wish I knew.
So this is much warmer than I thought it was going to be. So I had to come up out of that coat, which I'm sure everyone is going to fuss at me about since right now it's 50 degrees. However, I'm an old lady, quite possibly going through perimenopause while also dealing with some other hormonal nonsense. So, baby is hot. So we took that coat off. One of the new things that I decided to try is this coat rack for totes and the little bit of apparel that I bought. I did mention earlier that I didn't have any apparel. I just have like Cozy Ghost Christmas stuff. And I think I'm just going to, I'm going to just offer it half off, see if it moves. That and some of the other Halloween and Christmas stuff I have. People like a sale, so we'll see if that works. This coat rack is kind of lightweight, but thankfully there's no real wind today. I hate. I'd rather deal with the cold and the rain on a market rather than wind. But no real wind, and hopefully the totes and maybe I'll put a handful of sweatshirts out to kind of weigh it down. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's not the best. There are definitely some imperfections. You can tell. I got it from, the evil Amazon. You can tell that somebody more than likely used this before and decided they didn't want it anymore. But for my purpose, it's working. And it's nothing that a fresh coat of paint won't fix. So before the next markets, I'll do some touch-ups. There's that. I'm probably gonna put that there. Should I put my coat back on? Somebody video chatted me just now and yelled at me for not having a coat on, so I put it on. I mentioned earlier how I was attempting to lighten up the booth, but I'm not the type to go fully white in natural wood. So I did bring in a little bit of color. Love it. Let's see how this looks. So y'all probably can't tell on camera that, first of all, this is a 6-foot table, and this one over here is 4. And even though I bought them from the same vendor, they are 2 different colors. The 4-foot one is a true orange, while the 6-foot one is a color I want, more of a terracotta rust type of energy. So that's annoying me, but whatever, we're here now. And because of the display and the fact that I did not do a test run of it, I don't have as much space as I would like. I should have bought 2 6-foot tables with me, and I did not, since it was just going to be a little 3-hour one, and I didn't think I had a need for it. So now I know. This is good to know. 2 6-foot tables, and then I can get another of the tablecloth that I actually want in the shade that I want. So good to know. Let's see here. So it is about 4:15 now, and trying to get things together. There are already people walking about, which is why I'm not saying much, because I always hate looking like I'm talking to myself. Maybe people will think that I'm talking on the phone. But that is, I took a little bit of break since I was able to set up all the major pieces pretty quickly. Took a tiny bit of a break, and now we are going to finally get started putting out products. I know it's weird, but I tend to wait pretty late to put out the product because I hate putting out product while people are also talking to me. And they always do. They always want to have full-blown conversations while I am trying to run around and get things done. And maybe that doesn't make me a great business person, not being able to truly multitask in that way. But I have learned that specifically for me, I set things up and then I put out the product last minute so that I can be more attentive once people start coming around. That's what I tend to do. And I give them a little bit of time just to get myself together. So it is in full swing. Temperature dropped quite a bit. So, that's to be expected with our fake spring in North Carolina. But I'm really liking the setup. There's still some things that I need to figure out, like my cup situation is kind of weird. But this thing with the stickers, why is it empty in two spots? Interesting. But like this sticker area is great. So we'll see. I think when it comes to the whole pop-up, I think we are getting there. I think we are getting there. With somebody who loves me. Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna be with somebody. The coat rack, I had to do a little bit differently because the wind was trying to take it out, and I definitely could have done something about these wrinkles, but that's how it goes when you are ill prepared and you agree to this 72 hours before the actual event. But it's going okay, and we'll do a check-in soon.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do one more song for y'all, and then we're gonna wrap things up tonight. So again, New York 22 Strings very glad to be out here with PRA and First Friday Rally and Hartwell. And all the vendors, the food trucks, and all the people out here today.
Good morning, folks. It is the morning after the market, and as you could probably tell, I am pumped because it went so well. It went so very well. As a quick reminder, it was the Feminist First Friday with the Downtown Alliance group that I have done plenty of events with in the past. I was a little worried when I first pulled up, only because it was in a different location. It was still in downtown Raleigh, but it was just in a different part of downtown that really doesn't have much foot traffic. And when I first pulled up, I almost immediately decided that this event was just not going to go well for me. Just immediately, the pessimistic mindset set in. However, I was quite pleasantly surprised, and I am so happy about it. For this particular event, I did not have a vendor fee since it was a specific event for Women History Month, and their goal was to provide an event for women owned businesses at no cost, which I greatly appreciate. So there was no fee. During the event, which was only 3 hours, it was only from 5 to 8. I think I misspoke earlier in the video saying that it was a little bit longer, but this particular event was only 3 hours long. In those 3 hours, I had 43 sales. In those 43 sales, I sold 145 items. 145 items. So good. So good. Of those 145 items sold, 115 of those were stickers. No surprise. 6 were magnetic bookmarks, 6 were keychains, 2 magnet sets, 3 notepads, 9 pin back buttons, and 4 tote bags. This is exactly why I am big on providing a vast variety of items because people like options. There is a thin line between it being overwhelming and having a variety. And I think I'm doing a much better job of towing that line, but it's always a work in progress. And I think I did a pretty good job for this particular event. For those 145 items in 43 sales, I exceeded my goal of 300, and my gross sales was $512, which is so good for a 3 hour event that did not have a vendor fee. Very, very, very good. I think I was telling you earlier in the video when I was setting up that I was a little concerned because the temperature had dropped pretty significantly. I, like I said, I didn't think the foot traffic was going to be very heavy, but because of the kind of event it is, and because of the event coordinators, they just do very, very well at marketing, and they have a very large support system when it comes to these type of events, and it just went very well for me. I met a ton of very nice people. As always, I did a terrible job of attempting to get like emails and any kind of leads and that sort of thing. I'm terrible at that. I almost never put out my email list. I need to figure out how to do that better because people want to support, and I want to attempt to grow my email list because, as I'm sure all of you small business owners know, that truly is the only thing business wise that you own, and my email list is abysmal, pretty much non existent. So, part of 2025 is growing that email list as organically as possible. And what's the most organic way to do that than in person at these pop up events? Anywho, all that rambling to say that this event was great. Loved it. Chef's kiss. It went really, really well. Um, just as important as the sales, I had quite a few compliments on my setup. I had quite a few people even ask me where I had gotten like the easels that I showed you earlier from Michael's and that sort of thing. I really do think lightening up the booth and making things more of a self-serve type of thing when it comes to my display really works in my favor, and I'm going to continue to lean into that. So that is how my first market of 2025 went. A great success for me. It was a nice way to start off market season for me for 2025, and it really got me pumped for the other markets that I currently have planned. April is going to be quiet. I didn't I didn't agree to do any markets in April. There are a few that I still have my eye on, but I'm wondering if maybe I should focus on getting some new products out first in April, and then we'll pick back up with the market season in May. So as of right now, my next market isn't until May. So I have plenty of time to really dig into my booth display and finalize some of the pieces that we talked about earlier. Well, guys, that is it for this particular vlog. Thanks for coming along with me as I prepared for this last minute pop-up. And if this pop-up is indicative of how 2025 is going to go for me, I am excited because it went so well. I'm so excited. If you stopped by the booth and talked to me and bought anything and just laughed and giggled with me, thank you. I appreciate all the support that I received that day. It was such a fun day, and I am so glad that y'all braved the cold weather to come and hang out with me. Well, folks, as always, thanks for rocking with me. I'll see you around the internet somewhere. Bye.